Welcome to my channel, Love, Light, Liberty, and I'm your host, Rox Light. Today is Saturday, January 3rd, and we are the first full moon of the year 2026. Tonight we're full moon in Cancer, even though we're currently in Capricorn season until January 19th. And of course, our full moon sign will always be in the opposite of the current zodiac sign that we're in. So the opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. Some Native American tribes refer to tonight's moon in January as the wolf moon because wolves can be heard howling a lot during this time in harsh winters. It's also the first supermoon of the year, and there will be two more, which will be in November and December. In Western culture, New Year's always is January 1st for us, but in Chinese culture, their New Year this year lands February 17th, 2026. 2026 is the year of the horse with the element of fire, so we have Fire Horse this year. Tonight I'll be going over the full moon and the new moon card, as well as the supermoon card for tonight. And then it will be the mystery show and tell item for January, and then the spooky ghost story. I hope you take some time to sit back, relax, get yourself a cup of coffee or tea, and enjoy the show. Welcome, everybody, to Show and Tell Stories, episode 13, and welcome to 2026. I hope everybody had good holidays and you're ready to start your new year already. Here we go. Here's some incense. Clear the space. And we'll clear the space with. So, if you watched last year's show, I was using this Moonology Oracle card deck. I'll still be using some of these cards from this deck, but I found that the same author also has another deck that I ordered, and this one is Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. So I'll be using a couple of these cards today, along with one of the cards that's still relevant in the other deck. I will be doing an unboxing of this card deck later on in the month, hopefully, so you can see what I'm working with for the year. So tonight's full moon is full moon in Cancer. So Cancer is a water sign. And tonight is the supermoon, which we're going to have three for the whole year. We're going to have January, and then not till the end of the year, November and December. Now, I did see that the moon is already pretty big and full as of the night before. So, you know how the full moon starts manifesting like a couple nights before it really is the full moon. So, I have seen it as the supermoon this time around. I know last year at the end of the year when it was supposed to be supermoons, I didn't see anything, but this time I did. So, I was pretty excited about that. So, let's get started. Our first card is Full Moon in Cancer, Let Your Fears Dissolve. Let your fears dissolve. Another thing I will be getting this year is a new microphone for sure. Kind of upgrade that because I feel like this one doesn't work the best, but I make it work, I guess. So, Full Moon Cancer. Let me find that page. 1 second. Fear and neediness may now be at play. Fear is debilitating, while neediness isn't usually very attractive. Acting out of fear is a risky response. So, if you dwell on your insecurities, what you'll manifest is an extension of those insecurities. The reason why we should face our fears is that in doing so, they often simply just dissolve. So if we don't face them, they can influence us to act in ways we otherwise wouldn't, which means we can end up manifesting the very thing we were hoping to avoid. To see off the fear that's in you, face it right now. Manifesting balance. Find a balance between Cancer's oversensitivity and Capricorn's coolness. Manifesting mindset. Facing your fears and working out where they came from will point you in the right direction. You, you get into your right mindset. Manifesting rituals. It says put essential oils into your diffuser. I can't talk today. I don't know why. Diffuser and or bath. Find a comfortable position and relax with your eyes closed. Call in Selene, the goddess of the moon, to guide you, and imagine Selene's energy as a silver beam bathing your entire body, and ask her to guide you as you live in tune with the moon. Your manifestation affirmation should be I am completely loved and accept myself as I am. So it says the best time to manifest your magic is when the moon is in Cancer or on a Monday, which is Moon's Day. The full moon in Cancer takes place when the sun is in Capricorn and the moon is in Cancer. So I know they don't say the moon is a planet, but to me it's a planet. But you know how each planet rules over certain zodiac signs. Well, the moon rules over Cancer. So any of you that are born in the zodiac sign of Cancer, you should be more in tune with the moon probably than other zodiac signs out there. It probably really affects you probably more. And then Cancer's a water sign, so that's why it says on here oversensitivity or something like that. I mean, not that every person that's has cancer in their signs are oversensitive, but water signs do think more with their heart and feelings and stuff like that versus with their intellect and their minds. So, I do want to say, a lot of this oracle cards might say stuff like, ask this god or this goddess for wisdom or whatever. I'm really not going to say. Everybody knows what their higher power is and who they want to ask for assistance or with help in their lives. So I'm definitely not saying, okay, you should ask the moon goddess for everything in your life. No, you are going to go to the higher power that you are comfortable with and that you are familiar with, and that, all right. So that's all I have to say on that. So let's move on to the next. It's going to be the new moon at the end of the month. And that is going to be new moon in Capricorn, which is going to be January 18th. So stay tuned. So our new moon in Capricorn is on the 18th, which is on a Sunday. So this is what the card says. Step up and lead. Step up and lead. Good news is that you know what you want, and on some level, you know how to get it. Step up and know that you're the boss of your own life. A new, more disciplined approach is needed or a new plan. Strategy is called for. This card reminds you that ambition isn't a dirty word, whatever you want to create in your life. There's no such thing as too big a goal, but break your plans into smaller, achievable pieces. Slow and steady wins the race. Release any blocks to success. Manifesting focus. This card is an especially good sign for matters related to your professional life, life goals, and ambitions, or work colleague. Manifesting mindset. Think about where you want to be in a year, consciously visualizing it with write the 12-month plan detailing how you're going to get there. So it's saying manifesting tips to release any blocks would be like I said, I'm not gonna name the gods, goddesses, archangels, or anything like that. I'm gonna just say call upon your higher power to help you with releasing any of those blocks and to guide you and help you with releasing any grief or any past upsets that are standing in your way of success. The manifestation affirmation is the harder I work, the luckier I get. When to manifest. Best time to work your magic is when the moon is in Capricorn on a Saturday, which is Saturn's day. The new moon in Capricorn takes place when the sun and the moon are in the same degree in Capricorn. It knows that often we come with a plan or leave in defeat. So I know January is all about, oh, I'm going to make some resolutions. And then, of course, the gyms are full and packed first month of the year because everybody wants to go back to the gym. Honestly, resolutions are disappointing. Most people don't achieve them because to me, it's like trapped energy. It's a repeat cycle every year. Like, oh, it's a new year, a new me. I'm gonna have these resolutions. I'm gonna make these changes. Really, it's set up to make you believe that you're lacking something, and that's not the mindset we should have. We should, that we are lacking. We just need to make small increment changes in our life. So I was gonna do maybe later in the month. I'm gonna do a little like brainstorming exercise with you guys on how we can think more like outside box and not in such a rigid way. When it says make a 12-month plan, yeah, no one's gonna write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and put your little linear line there and write and have it all like set in stone and it's all boxed in like a square. No, we're not going to do it like that. Energy needs to free flow. I can't talk today. To fro. Oh my God. To flow freely. And in order for excuse me, and in order for that to happen, we have to have our creative mind open and not blocked. And we definitely aren't going to put anything, our thoughts and our ideas in anything linear or in a square. So you got to think about that. So step up and lead. So Capricorn is a symbol of like it's kind of a mythological creature. It's half goat and half mermaid tail or something like that. But Capricorn is an earth sign, so they're grounded and determined. So if this is the time that you need to step up and lead and be the leader in something, you got to think about what that is. I was talking to my friends the other day, and I realized that there's a couple of jobs I took in the month of January. There's actually two of them. I don't know if January ended up being just a month that I had to take jobs in the past, but I thought that was kind of interesting. The full I'm sorry, the 2026 year doesn't really start yet for the Chinese, right? It's only in Western cultures um, that it started January 1st. So, really, the rest of the world looks at this time period as still a transition time before the actual beginning of the new year, which isn't until February 17th. So, think about that. We are in the middle, not in the middle, more like, well, depending on what country you live in. We're in the winter season, let's just say that. And winter season isn't about growth. Winter season is dormant. It is a time to sit back and make plans, but not to really act and do a whole lot. To sit back and make the plans and try to prepare. But it's not like there's a lot of growth. Growth doesn't happen until the spring, actually, when we change seasons and you see the growth in nature. Trees begin to bloom, flowers begin to grow and bloom. Um, the weather gets better. I mean, there's just a shift in energy. So right now, winter season is actually dormant energy. So you have to think about you might not want to be going out there and doing a whole lot with your life right now just because you think it's 2026. You might want to take this time and make some plans, but use your creative mind. And don't ask ChatGPT or for your ideas. You have a mind, you have creativity. Don't give it away. Don't let somebody else decide what your creative mind is to be. You have a mind and you need to use it because there's going to be a time where everybody's going to say, our minds aren't good enough. You know, the computers are smarter than us. AIs can do it better than we can. And that's not the world I want to live in. I want to live in a world that we still have the ability to use our minds. We still have the ability to create, and we are still worthy and important. And we don't need to be taken over by AI and be told that AI is more worthy than we are. So think about that too. I had to get that off my mind. So I decided this year I am going to give myself a new position, chaos coordinator. I feel like my life has always been kind of chaotic, and I've always had to kind of navigate through that chaos. But all right, well, I am going to read from the other deck the Supermoon card because it wasn't in this new deck, but it's still in the old deck. And since it is a Supermoon, I think we should read it. So stay tuned. All right, so Supermoon for tonight is it says emotions are running high. Emotions are running. This card suggests the answer to whatever you're asking is large, like the silvery full moon set against the velvety night sky. If you're wondering how successful something's going to be, such as a job or relationship, the answer is very. And the answer to your question may be right under your nose. This card is about being larger than life, being special, and bursting with energy that can tune you into when you work with. You can expect plenty of good things and a positive outcome when this card comes up. But you can find there's a lot of emotion to deal with too. There's also a sense that the opportunities around whatever you're asking about won't come along every day, so take action. Attune to the moon, success is close. I must trust. Additional meanings for the card is a resolution to your question is closer than you may think. Don't ignore the obvious. Something exciting lies ahead. Make sure you don't blow events out of proportion and speak to the goddess for her assistance. The teaching is a supermoon is a full new or full moon that takes place when the moon is closest to the earth during its monthly orbit. If it's a full moon, the moon appears about 14% bigger at this time. The moon is known as the queen of emotions. So if you draw this supermoon card, regardless of when you do it, you can expect your feelings to be more highly charged. Well, hope everybody has a good full moon tonight and you can go out and see the supermoon. Like I said, I was able to see it, so hopefully wherever you're at on the planet, you can see it. Got this little night light here. Um, I thought it was kind of cute. The little moon. It has a touch thing where you can change different. That one's too bright, but different modes on the light. Um, I would like to read since it is the new year, a couple fortune cookies. I like fortune cookies when I eat, and I have this deck right here. It has a lot of good advice in it, so I think I'll pull four for the year, like winter, spring, summer, and fall, or something like that, and see what they suggest we need to focus on. So hang on, let me shuffle and pull four. So, four cards for the winter, which we're in right now, and then spring, summer, and fall. Yeah, this one has like two little Chinese dragons on it. Do you see that? I got these cards last year. I just love them. I have a lot of good advice on them. All right, let's see what winter brings us. Love. Love is in the air, a great time for commitment and taking relationships to the next level. So, winter season is love, spring as opportunities. An important offer will be made. Be prepared to dress to impress. Opportunities. Um, Summer is reinvent yourself. A transformation's taking place. Enjoy a new lease of life. And also, when it says lease, it could be also moving. Um, you're signing a new lease, so it can be more than just reinventing yourself. And okay, so that was winter, spring, summer, and fall. Fall is surprise. A disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise. An invitation could bring love to those searching. So our year is love and opportunities, reinventing yourself, and surprise. Aren't those the cutest cards? They all say good things. I like things that are always positive. Some people are like, oh, some cards don't have enough negative things in them. Why would you want anything that has negative things in it? If you're about manifesting and improving your life, you definitely want to be reading things that have positivity to them. All right, well, stay tuned for show and tell, and after that, spooky ghost story. So now it is time for the mystery show item. Um, so I did buy a couple things for myself this last month. I'm gonna show them to you. So the first thing I got was a book here called Chinese Horoscope Astrology 2026. So 2026 is Year of the Horse. So I really didn't know what that all means. So I decided to get a book written by somebody from China so I can learn a little bit more about what Year of the Fire Horse really means. And I just find it a little bit interesting. And I just been going through and just kind of highlighting some overall important things that I find interesting. It's easy to read. It's pretty like big print, and it goes through the whole months: January, February, March, April, May, and then it also just does overview of the horse and what's behind the Chinese astrology of it and stuff like that. So I've been working on some of my one of my goals this year is read more books. I definitely want to incorporate. I don't want to waste my time too much on the internet. I've been trying to get away from that as much as possible. I need that time for myself. But okay, so my next thing is for my mind too. I got myself a puzzle, and this puzzle is 1,000 pieces. I haven't started it yet. It is all the state wildflowers in the United States. So I figure when I get done with it, I can probably puzzle glue on it, and the goal is to hang it up because I think that would be really pretty in my room. And then I can also, when I'm putting this together, I can also learn what states are associated with what flowers. Plus, guess what? My son bought me a camera for Christmas. And of course, last year I didn't get to do it, but I had wanted to take a bunch of pictures of wildflowers and just Texas flowers in general. And kind of, I don't know, I just wanted to do that and I didn't get to. So that's all my creative endeavors for this year too. Like I said, I'm not going to make a list. I have my own way of doing my, since I'm chaos coordinator. I have my own way of how I'm gonna kind of brainstorm my how my year's gonna go. But yeah. And like I said, I got my new deck of cards here. These ones came just got Amazon is when I bought these off of. Here's the inside box. I think it'd be kind of fun to do a unboxing of it because I'm not gonna do that right now, but I'm gonna show. I'm just gonna pull a couple and you can see the artwork in it because it's super. I kind of like pastel colors and stuff, so it looks like this. Of course, we already saw that one, and we saw that one. So see, I like the artwork in these. I like the artwork, and here's the back of them. It has three moons on it. See, aren't they pretty? I just thought they were adorable. You know, when you pick a book or when you pick anything in life, it has to resonate with you. And you're like, yeah, I could use that. Or I can, I'm in tune with that. So yeah, that's that. And then, like I said, I got myself my little light here, so I feel like I've gotten like a lot of different things lately. It's Christmas time, so I'm like, it's Christmas. Um, so yeah, there's other books I plan on reading this year. Here's another one. This one's called Lunar Living, Working with Magic of the Moon Cycles. So I don't know what kind of books you guys like to read, but it should be a book reading year. All right, well, stay tuned.
Tonight's ghost story is called The Anson Light from the Big Book of Texas Ghost Stories. The little town of Anson is located 18 miles southeast of Hamlin. Originally known as Texas City, the town was renamed in 1882 in honor of Anson James, the last president of the Republic of Texas. The little town is approximately 3,000 people, is the county seat of Jones County. Although Anson is known regionally as a center for cotton farming, it is best known as the home of the Texas Cowboys Christmas Ball. Anson is also the place to go if for anyone interested in ghost lights. And at least three stories are told to explain the presence of Anson's eerie flickering light, which is usually sighted around Mount Hope Cemetery. In one version, a woman who lived in the area in the 1930s walked down the dirt road one cold winter's night in search of her little boy, who had wandered off. Holding her lantern, she carefully made her way over the uneven, frozen ground as she called his name. She never found her lost child, so her ghost still roams the area with lantern in hand. In a variant of the story, the mother lived with her older son who worked for the railroad. When he arrived home by train, he signaled her by flashing his lantern 3 times. The man's ghost is said to continue this routine. The third version of the legend has it that a woman sent her 3 sons to the store one night to buy supplies. She instructed them to take a lantern with them and flash it 3 times if they got in trouble. She would be watching for their signal and run to their aid if they needed help. One night her sons were struck and killed by a train on their way home. Their spirits are still trying to signal their mother to come to their aid. Some locals still believe that the light in the spirit of the child whose playful spirit leaves Mount Hope Cemetery and frolics around the tombstones late at night. The Anson light is said to resemble the flickering light of a lantern. Hope Mount Hope Cemetery offers the best vantage point for viewing the Anson light, which usually appears at a nearby crossroads. The cemetery is about a half a mile down the road off of Highway 180. People say the light appears if you flash your headlights 3 times, as in the legends. If you drive towards the light and get close to the cemetery, the light vanishes. On August 5th, 2000, members of the Southwest Ghost Hunters Association conducted a formal investigation of the Anson light. They drove down the dirt road and turned off their engine. The light did not appear until they flashed their headlights 3 times. After a few seconds, a feeble orange colored light beam began floating down the road in their direction. Before vanishing about 200 yards from the investigators, the light changed to a blue hue. Some have sought a rational explanation for the Anson light and suggest it was created by the headlights of cars traveling on Highway 227, with the flickering effect caused by the foliage of tree limbs blowing in the wind. Not surprisingly, though, paranormal investigations and teenagers looking for the thrill prefer to believe it was caused by ghosts. So, what do you think about that? I know in December I read to you about the lights in Marfa, Texas. This one seems to be a single light with an intelligence on flashing 3 times and something like that, like wanting to communicate with it. Kind of interesting. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you enjoy your supermoon tonight and you go out and get your moon water and charge your crystals. And I'll see you next month in February. Take care.